Yeah, just shout out, Granny. Sorry you couldn't make it. Okay, let's jump into our top stories. Today we are talking about the British man facing 25 years for possession of a synthetic cannabis, in the UAE. He's appealing his case. So Billy Hood was arrested on charges of possession and selling drugs after police found cannabis oil in his car on the 31st of January. After receiving the information via a tip-off, he is now facing 25 years in prison. And this story received heaps of international media attention, and it's currently pending with the Court of Appeal's decision. So now we have an update on the story. According to the National, the General Directorate for Drug Control, that's the GDDC here in the UAE, they became aware of Mr. Hood in his case, who was intending to sell the substance when they found him with a large quantity, and as well as that, a large quantity of cash on his person and properties used for vaping. Now, the source states Mr. Hood is now within his rights to appeal the case, and that he has been treated according to UAE law, despite international media reports saying that he was forced into a confession. The GDDC here state that he had access to an English interpreter at all times.
The UAE has a strict no-drug policy. The type of oil Hood found the type of oil Hood was found with can induce adverse health effects, and it's a synthetic drug with no therapeutic effects. Now, vaping CBD oil is legal in some European countries as it can relieve pain, anxiety, or stress, but because it contains trace elements of THC, the main psychoactive compound found in cannabis, it is illegal here. Now, it's actually funny, like just the conversation surrounding cannabis and drug consumption is coming back up around some parts of the world. Like, for example, India, a big mega star's son is now going through the probe of drug consumption. So just that whole conversation is coming up again, like, should cannabis be legal? Should cannabis be illegal? And just like the thing about drug consumption in a whole. So
well, I don't know if that, because the conversation here is that it's a strict no drugs policy.
Yeah.
And that's what I think people need to be reminded of. And that's why that's interesting, because I think, like you said, in some countries, cannabis oil is legal. However, here, the properties contained in what Mr. Hood was found with is illegal. So I think the learning from this is constant awareness. Like, we know that the UAE is a strict no drugs policy. We know that you can face lengthy times in prisons if you are found with substances, and especially in this case, there was, according to the report, an intent to sell because of the volume that he was found with. So that's possession and intent to sell. So I think it's just the awareness of, just because this type of CBD oil may be legal in some other countries, that doesn't mean it's legal here. You know, there was like the different media reports are, saying, it's legal there, and therefore why would he face 25 years here? But it's a different country, different laws. However, he is appealing his case, and there will be more on that story as we get it.
And honestly, like, if you're gonna come reside in the UAE, visit the UAE, you have to abide by the laws and the culture and all of that. It's not like, oh, you come here, enjoy all of the lavishness, and then compare it to other countries, like, oh, it's legal there, why is it not legal here? Like, Dubai and the UAE does, they are very liberal about a lot of things, but I feel like in the case of drugs, it's such a strict no drug policy, you can't really argue against it,
Yeah, it's an awareness piece that we'll be following and keeping you up to date on when we have more information.
Yeah, but moving on to our